Right, sorry guys. This is Div1, Mexico. I managed to be a commentator this evening. I'm really sorry, but it was a late call-in for me to jump on, so I apologise for the tardiness. I've literally just logged on now and gone live, so apologies. I just need to double check that on YouTube my voice is being shared, because all the settings aren't my usual, so bear with me. Yeah, right, okay, it is being shared, cool. Yep. So, obviously we missed qualifying, but Nico Rosenberg has taken pole with Fireblaze in P2, Gurgley in 3, Jan 4, Dragon 5, Kiert in 6, Dylan in 7th, really good, Veloci Junior in 8th. So the Mercedes drivers sticking out together. Do this. Some tyres. Everyone except Klauser started on the mediums. So I imagine, I think we might see more people in Div 1 do a one stop. Possibly pitting lap 12. Just to get that better undercut, or not undercut, but overcut on drivers doing two stop. Look at the heat wave coming off those cars. I love that. Great graphics. Let's go with Gurgley. Now we'll go with Dragon. One light, two lights, three lights, four lights, five red lights, and they're going. Great start by Nico Rosenberg, but Fireblaze looks like he got a great start, as we just see Yaham getting the worst start I've ever seen. And Kate is trying to find space into turn 1, as we just see Fireblaze on the inside line going through. Will he have the inside line on the turn 3? Yes, and he gets it done. So Fireblaze keeps P3, Dragon still in P4, and I've got an audio glitch. I don't know how to solve this, guys. I'm really sorry. In lap 3, I'll try start a new party or something. But yeah, unfortunately for now, we'll have to make do with the horrendous audio. So far so good. Looks like Matty's dropped down, so has Zebra Gamer. So a few changes there, but it looks like the front 4 are starting to fan out a little bit. Nico Rosenberg is setting the track alight with his pace. Gurgley just trying to hold on for dear life as Fireblaze is nipping at his heels. Right, guys, just bear with me. I am going to restart my party just to see if that sorts it. So bear with me, guys. No. It's going to be horrendous. Okay. Right, so yeah, I don't know how to sort this issue. It's going to be this for the entire race. I do apologise, guys. I don't know if you're hearing it too, but it's horrendous. Nico Rosenberg is blazing out into the lead, with Gurgley trying to not lose too much time, but Fireblaze nipping at his heels. We might as well just do a lot of broadcast for you because we don't get that stupid noise. Yeah, it's going to be broadcast for you the entire time, guys. I cannot do with that stupid noise. So we've got Nico Rosenberg out in the lead, nearly 2 seconds now, absolutely setting the trail alight. Gurgley, followed by Fireblaze, then Dragon. Velocio Junior in 5th. Separated out Dylan Vince, dropping down quite a few places there. So something happened in the start, maybe lap 1 or maybe turn 1, 2 or 3. Bit of a gap there as well between Yaham and Bruss. So that's certainly splitting the field as we just see Adams getting past Klauser. I think it was Adams anyway. Let's just put our tyres back on. There you go. Oh, as Draugen getting past Gurgley. They're fighting back, but we've also got Velocio Jr., ARB Jr. Also in the mix there. Looks like a bit of a fight there, which could be contention for the podium spot. So watch out for these guys because they are fighting hard. I do believe Nico Rosenberg and Fireblaze will have P1 and P2 wrapped up. I know it's early to say, but they are, I would say at this moment in time, for 3 laps in, they are streaks ahead. If Draugen can shake Gurgley, and so guys, if you do see me just momentarily come off the stream, it's just to check my mic. My mic's faulty at the minute, so I do need to periodically just check I'm still broadcasting my voice, so apologies for that. So we've got Velocio Jr. On the back of Gurgley. He's putting pressure on him. DRS open, but of course Gurgley's also got DRS because he's still within that 1 second of Draugen. Now Draugen is going to be lucky to keep P3 at the minute, or prospective P3, because he's got no DRS to take from Fireblaze. He's too far ahead. So Draugen either needs to pull something out of his socks or some sort of trick out of his sleeve, but he's not in a great position. Although Draugen in a great place now, and I remember when Draugen joined the league, he's done really well in the last few years to get where he is now. You know, fighting at the front of Div1, absolutely monumental. You see that big gap between Draugen and Fireblaze, and it's only getting bigger. So it looks like it's going to be a fight for P3 between Draugen, Gurgley, Velocio Jr., Kurt. Yahan might be in there. Don't discount Dylan Vince. Gurgley going for it on the outside, or inside, sorry, into the first stadium section, and he gets it done. Gurgley now up into P3. We've just seen Velocio Jr. on the outside of Draugen. Will he make that stick? It's going to be the inside line for Velocio Jr. Oh, there's a bit of contact, but I think that was just fair enough. But that's put Draugen down the order. He's overtaken by his teammate and Yarham. So Draugen losing out 5 positions. Sorry, 4 positions. Oh, no. No, excuse me. Yarham span. And the safety car is out. That will be a safety car. You can see the yellow dot in the pit lane, coming to the end of the pit lane. So if I was Nico Rosenberg, or anyone here, I would pit. This is a surefire way to get onto the 2-stop, and Nico Rosberg's gone, Fireblaze is in, so Nico Rosberg is at a loss now. Gurgley should be in. Yep, everyone's coming in, and I think that's going to put Nico Rosberg at a loss. He's going to have to work extremely hard to win this race now, because every single racer behind him will be on fresh tyres and right behind him, so he's going to have to, I'm not sure what he can do. Even sheer pace alone I don't think can win this now. So let me know in the comments if you think Nico Rosenberg, oh no, Klaus is not pitted either. Klaus, Fireblaze, oh no, Klaus is not pitted, so Klaus might be okay for about P5 or P6, but every single driver behind Nico Rosenberg and Klauser are on fresh tyres. But Klauser needs to also pull something out of his arse to get a good result here. We saw this in Div 2 last night, that every single driver, I think it was lap 3, much earlier than this, they pitted. And I questioned it at first. I actually said, why would you do that? And it became apparent. it's because there's so much tyre wear on full fuel on those mediums. You may as well get off them and switch to the two-stop. So I think Nico Rosberg's at a loss here. It may be proven wrong, but I think Nico Rosberg may just have lost the win. Not necessarily the podium, but I think he's lost the win here. Let me just check my audio. Check. Yeah. So let me just load up the stream and we will see what's cracking in the comments, if there is any. None yet. We've got 3 people watching. So let's just put up our position change just to show. So Klaus up 12 positions by not stopping. Nico Rosberg as exactly where he started. Fireblaze down 1, Gurgley down 1. Fresh tyres. Velociar B Jr. up 3 positions, so he's in a good position. OWR Kit has started where he is. And then Draugen down 2. Gags up 4, and then the next 3 drivers, Chris 99, Tam, Lagrotta, also 2 drivers up 1, and then Matty up 2, Adams up 3, Bruce down 4, Zebra Gamer up 2, and then Dylan Vince down 8. So I think Dylan Vince has an issue. But yeah, hopefully, we've got a Mercedes at the back of Dylan that might delay this, so it might be another lap behind the safety car. I think it will be. It's normally now. Yeah, it would normally say now if they're coming in and they're not. So it's another lap behind the safety car. So let's put the tyre choice on. So Dylan Vince will be going to the end, I think. Zebra Gamer will have to stop again. Adams will have to stop again. Gags will have to stop again. And definitely Nico Rosberg will have to stop again. And Klauser as well. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers that will have to stop again. So that, in my mind, would put Fireblaze, Gurgley and Velocia Ayab Jr. in the prime spot for podium positions or wins here. Dylan Vincent getting a time penalty behind the safety car. Epic work, my man. Epic work. But yeah, epic work last night by Dylan for the comms that he did. First time in the comms box at SFR, comms box in SFR, and my God, did he do well. Really good, really enjoyable to do comms with him. So thank you again, Dylan, for joining me last night. Of course, you have to go put with my boring voice tonight, guys. We normally have the lovely, energetic and professional voice of Jamie or Indigo. Unfortunately, wasn't able to make it tonight, so I've raced home just to step in and cover the race for you. So I know I'm not up to the usual standard of Jamie. I know you have that lovely professional voice of Jamie, but tonight, unfortunately, guys, you've got me. So we should get the notification now that the safety car is coming in. And there it is. It's coming in. So where will Nico Rosberg go? I think he'll go just before the last turn. Because it's such a long straight, you have to get the jump. I think he's going to go now. And he's gone. He's gone. So, a bit of a jump on Klauser. Not great deal. Obviously, Klauser will be deploying everything, but Fireblaze all over the back of Klauser. Will Klauser be overtaken into turn 1? It's looking tight. Fireblaze into turn 1. Takes P2. Nice and clean. And Nico Rosberg on those 8-lap-old mediums, they're not going to be in great condition. I think he's missed a trick here because maybe he's had 2 laps now of free tyre life, let's say. But they're never going to be great. You know, he's maybe got to lap 11. Maybe. Oh, was there an issue there? Chris Tam, I think it was. Yeah, we had issues there from Chris Tam, I believe. But Fireblaze sticking on the back of Nico Rosenberg. Klaus is dropping out now. Look how close it is between Fireblaze and Nico Rosenberg from that helicopter shot. So obviously Fireblaze will have DRS. Don't think it'll be a move just yet because DRS will only be enabled at DRS Sector 3, or DRS 3 should I say. This is the second lap of the restart, so it will come into effect at DRS 3. So this is DRS 2. DRS 3 is just after the S's approaching the stadium section, or the first sharp right of the stadium section. Nico Rosenberg 48% battery, Fireblaze on 62% battery, Gergely on 40-ish battery, and Klauser starting to catch back up now, but Klauser is the cork in the bottle. He's got some serious competition there. These guys do not want to miss out on what they know is going to happen, because they know that Nico Rosenberg is going to drop off very soon. They want to be on back of anyone in front of them. As I think just Klauser going a little bit wide there. And I've got a feeling we're going to start seeing penalties anytime soon as Fireblaze lines it up on the back of Nico Rosenberg. This should be an easy overtake into turn 1, and they get a free DRS because it's a buy one get one free. Excuse me for burping there. So Fireblaze is into the lead. Round the next corner, and he will get DRS. Here we go. Opens up, extending the lead. So I think Nico Rosenberg is starting to just wane on those tyres now. He's got a hard decision. Does he stick this out, or does he switch the two-stop himself and have slightly better tyres at the end, but out of position? He's going to be kicking himself for not stopping. You can just see that gap opening up now. Just a smidge off 2 seconds in less than a third of a lap. I reckon we'll see Nico Rosenberg in. No, is he in? Yes, he is. He's in. Yeah, he had to do that. So that release is Gergely to chase down Fireblaze on the same tyres, as well as Velocio Abbey Jr. Bit of a gap now, so this is Fireblaze's to lose. Let's just go down to Adams, who's pushing on the back of Klauser. Klauser really struggling now. Klauser on 11 lap old hards. They shouldn't be past their prime, but they're no match for midlife mediums. I also imagine Gags and Adams will start to wane in about another 4 laps time, so they'll be then in for hards, which will be 20 laps to the end for both Gags and Adams, and of course maybe Zebra Gamer, who's on the same live tyre. Let's go down to Kiet. Oh, bit of damage there for La Grotta, is it? No. We've got damage on. Trying to see. Just trying to see there who had damage. I saw a wing fly up at the background coming out the S's. Can't quite see who it is. As we're seeing movements now. We've got Valoisia, 360 time limit for Lagrotta. Valoisia ARB Junior still on the back of Gurgley. Or Geojelly or Gurjelly. If you want to DM me after the race your correct pronunciation of your name, because that's a hard one. But Fireblaze still 4.7 seconds in the lead. Yeah, they've done 7 laps. You can probably do 23 or 4 laps on them. So that'd be at least another 15. So that'd take them up to 28. So yeah, you could even lap 26 maybe change from mediums to the end, or if you selected the harder tyre compounds, select hards for about the same or a few laps before. So this gives them options. Where is Rosenberg? Rosenberg's down in 14th, right at the back. As we see, a big gaggle of cars coming in. And it's a safety car again. A safety car again. Wow. Okay, so Rosenberg saw that. I think that might have just brought Rosenberg back into contention, because he's just pitted. The safety car happened and he's jumped a bunch of drivers by being in the pits 2 laps before. Question is, 14 from 36 is 22. So if you're Fireblaze, do you jump in and put some fresh hards on to then go all the way to the end? This is it's a repeat of the first safety car. What do you do? Because I don't think they can go to the end on these tyres anyway. They'd have to stop again. So if you're Fireblaze, do you jump in? Let's put leader on, actually. Leader. Yeah, easy. Right, okay. So, yeah, 21 seconds back to Bruss. That'd put you just in front of Nico Rosberg. If I was Fireblaze, I'd be pitted. I'd put fresh hards on if I've got them available, all the way to the end. So let's just see what Fireblaze does. He is in. He is in. I imagine that will be a fresh set of hards all the way to the end. So Gajelli stays out. Valoisier comes in. Draugen stays out. Gag's coming. Yeah, so is it hards? I think it should be hards for Fireblaze. Oh. It is hards for Fireblaze all the way to the end. And do you know what? Wow. No! Ferozio Junior's put softs on. No! Oh, unlucky. I guarantee that is not a conscious decision. That'll be some sort of selecting the wrong tyre, or just not paying attention to tyre choice when coming in. I guarantee Velocio ARB Jr. did not mean to do that, because they last about 3 laps. But Fireblaze in 3rd place on fresh hards with Gags technically P2, Nico Rosberg P3. I think this has brought Nico Rosberg back into contention for the win, because the sheer pace deficit, or the sheer pace he has, should put him in good contention now for the win. It won't be easy for him, but it has put him back in contention for it. At worst, I think it's a P2 for Nico Rosberg. Right, wow, so safety car picking up Gajelli. I'm going to keep changing how I pronounce that, by the way, just for the laugh. So Gurgley is in P1 as it stands with 9 lap old hards. Draugen, let me just double check my audio. Check. Yeah, still going. And Fireblaze, of course, is technically the race leader. Then Lagrotta, 10 lap old hards. Bruss the same, and Gags, I would say technically P2, and then Nico Rosberg technically P3. Now, Adams didn't see that sneaky little fish creeping up. He's on 2 lap old hards in P8, which technically, when everyone else pits, will be about P4. I don't think Klaus can go to the end. No, he can't. It'd be 18 laps, or sorry, 20 laps. 20 laps on the mediums. So 18 with his 2 he's already done. Not happening. Dylan can go to the end. Zebra Gamer can go to the end. Odibar Kiet cannot. Chris can, and Volsha IRB Jr. can. Now, obviously, Volsha Jr. has come back in because he put those softs on. And he knows full well you can't go any more than 2 or 3 laps on those. They are horrendous. So, yeah, fair play for Volsha IRB. Excuse me, Jr. Getting off those softs is the right call. So, I think we might be bunched up enough for the notification to come in, which should be coming around now, if it's going to come in. 3, 2, 1. Another lap, I think it is. Right, so one more lap. One more lap behind the safety car, which helps out the likes of Fireblaze, it helps out the likes of Gags, it helps out the likes of Nico Rasenberg and Adams, Dylan and Zebra Gamer, and of course Chris and Velocio Jr., because it's more laps at the end. Oh no, that's coming. Oh, wow. I didn't see the notification. So, Gajelli just stalling. Oh, come on, Gajelli. Or someone's not playing ball there. That might be investigated by the stewards. That's going to cause incidents, I think. This is not going to go well at turn 1, I don't think. Yep, didn't think so. That was always going to happen with how that happened, but I think... I'm not sure that was even a bad start. I just think people thought he'd gone and he hadn't. It might be... Was it Imola? Or... No, it wasn't Imola, was it? It was... can't think of the other Italian race. The really bad pile-up. But Nico Rasenberg up into P3. Fireblaze down into P4. It's going to get interesting and very spicy. Nico Rasenberg up into P2. Getting a bit of umpy bumpy in the stadium section. Fireblaze back up into P3. So yeah, sorry, I didn't see what happened to you, mate. Or maybe I did. I forgot what happened. But yeah, unfortunately, you're out, mate. I do apologise. I don't like to see that. Not good, matey. I know you're in a title fight. But yeah, Nico Rasenberg all over the back of Gajelli. Question is, will Nico Rasenberg's tyres hold out until the end, or will Fireblaze just stick with him and then overtake him in the last few laps? We've still got 18 laps to go. We are exactly at the halfway point. A little bit past it now because we're at the end of 18 laps, so 19 laps, so just past halfway. Nico Rasenberg lining up Gajelli. It's going to be an E. Ooh! That looked strange. Gajelli went tight for some reason. I think Gajelli was going to go in the pits, but then decided against it. So Fireblaze up into P2. As you just see, OWI Kit behind Gajelli. Gajelli's going to be a bit of a cork in the bottleneck now. Don't think that'll last long because they're going to want to get past him very quickly. Keep going off track. Yeah, keep getting a 3-second warning because he cut the corner there. And of course, if... Oh, just on the board with Gajelli coming back at him now. Oh, there's Kate going offline again. There's a 10-second corner cut. Gained one place, so I think he's going to retire now. Nico Rosberg with a fastest lap. Back into P1 for Nico Rosberg. Yep, Kate retired from the session. And I imagine that'll be some sort of steward's entry from him. So it's going to be a difficult one to judge here because we've got the likes of Nico Rosberg on 8-lap old hards, Gugelli, Draugen all on 14-lap old hards, Legrotto on 14-lap old hards. They're going to have to pit again. So I think there's been a few mistakes with strategy here. Although Nico Rosberg struggling for the battery, Fireblaze not exactly much better. But he's desperately trying to stay in DRS because Nico Rosberg is poised to just release himself into the wild of the front of the air. Fireblaze just slipping ever so slightly back. He needs to stay in this 1 second coming into the stadium section. I think the DRS detection zone is just after the hairpin, I believe. About there, I think it is. And he is within 1 second. So this should give Fireblaze a chance to just harvest battery, use the DRS just to harvest battery. If you are watching, guys, I've got to use broadcast view because for some reason this happens when we watch driver view. The audio, which is absolutely shocking, and nobody wants to hear that, so I've got to do broadcast view. I know they do. If you are fair with my commentary, I do like to do different angles and stuff, but we just can't have that broadcast to the world. So Nico Rosberg, Fireblaze blazing out in the front. Dylan Vince with a penalty, trying to hang on. I mean, Dylan can make it to the end. I don't think Gugelli can. Neither can Draugen. Gags can, Velocia can, and Zebra Gamer can, but they've all got penalties. So this could actually be a podium for Dylan if he can stay relatively close to Fireblaze. He's not that far back, really. You can see, once he goes around this corner, you can see the back of the cars. I think Gugelli's going to come in soon. I don't see a point. Got 14 laps if he chose mediums now. If I had a hards available, I'd be pitting now. If I was Gugelli. If I had mediums, then I'd maybe go lap 24. Yeah, Fireblaze again, all over the back of Nico Rosberg with a good level of battery, but they've both built it back up now. So I imagine Fireblaze is going to try and do an overtake down the home finish straight, just so he can get the overtake done and have the DRS of DRS2, just to eke out a bit of a lead. But it might be a bit of a cat and mouse here. It might actually come down to the last few laps and whose tyres are better, and I imagine Fireblaze's will be better, but then of course he's running the dirty air of Nico Rosberg, which isn't great for your tyres. You know, it's always ever so slightly more scrubbing as you do around the slow corners, and even around the medium or fast corners, you get that scrubbing effect by being in the dirty air. But we'll see now Fireblaze is overtaking. He'll have DRS opening up now. He's not really gaining as much as I thought he would do. Not close enough to make a lunge for it, but he might do it into DRS2, but I think Nico Rosberg will come back at him in DRS3. Fireblaze playing it safe. Because he knows it's better to do it on the home finish straight. But they're both saving battery. They're both wise to this. This is the battle of the greats right now. As Dylan Vince sitting very pretty indeed for a P3. Come on, Dylan, you can do this, mate. Get that podium. There's no one else really fighting him for it, because his next contender really is Chris 99 Tam, because he's the only one without a penalty. But he's a good. In fact, let's check that. Chris Tam 12, Dylan 4. Yeah, so he's a good 8 seconds in front. Minus the 3, so he's 5 seconds in front of Chris Tam at the minute. As Legrotto gets a 10-second penalty speed in the play. It's so easy to do that. Oh, he's quitting anyway. So we've lost another one. Legrotto has had enough. See, at the minute, Dylan is 5 seconds ahead of respective P4. So we've already had 2 safety cars in this race. Certainly 2 more than what we had in Div 3, and I think 1 more than what we had in Div 2. Yeah, no safety cars in Div 3, I don't think there was. 1 in 2, and we've had 2 in Div 1. I'm not sure what caused the second one. But Fire Blaze. All over the back of Nico Rosenberg. This should be an overtake for Fireblaze. Nico Rosenberg putting him on the dirty side of the track. Always smart to do that. Fireblaze now in the lead. And he will have, of course, another blast of DRS as he comes into DRS 2. Ooh, Fireblaze ever so slightly wide there. Nearly got another warning. Then, of course, Nico Rosenberg will get DRS into DRS 3, which will be in another 4 corners time. Or 5, technically. So if you join the stream, guys, do let us know what you think will happen. Will Fireblaze take the win from Nico Rosenberg, or will Nico Rosenberg shine through on those 3-lap older hards? And will Dylan Vince cling on to P3? Where will Gurgely finish? He's got to stop again. Will Chris 99 Tam fight Dylan for P3? As we see the DRS open for Nico Rosenberg. As Fireblaze just takes up the middle of the track just to force a move. He's not close enough. Battery life is better for Nico Rosenberg as Fireblaze again getting ever so slightly closer to that white line on the exit. Nico Rosenberg goes to the outside line. Fireblaze slots in behind him. Nico Rosenberg back into P1. So, we're going to quickly, if we get a moment to go away from this battle, just check on the field. I know these guys have had a lot of airtime, but this is for the win. And there's quite a few penalties elsewhere. We are checking on Dylan Vince and we are checking on Chris Tam, because they are, I think, personally, the P3 contenders. Dylan's obviously got a 3-second time penalty to contend with. Chris Tam has nothing. And Chris Tam's got slightly better tyres, but he's got a bit of a gap to make up, actually. We'll just check it again. 5, so 8. So he's actually lost time. So he's actually on nearly 6. Call it nearly 6. Call it nearly 14. Right, yeah, so he's got 4 seconds now Has he made up time? Yeah, I think he's made up time actually. 4 seconds for Chris Tam, technically. We'll have to see what happens when Jelly gets out of the way. Veloicier might be a cork in the bottle for Chris Tam when he gets there. We've got a little bit of racing left. With 9 laps remaining. So we'll have to see if what I'm saying is true. But they need to make a move soon. Chris Tam needs to get past Gurgley. There's a lot of penalties coming through now. Obviously, it's so easy to pick up penalties around here. I thankfully managed to scrape through with none on Monday night, but it was touch and go. There was a few occasions I thought, that's it, I'm about to get one, but I just kept it in. That's Fireblaze. Can't do it into turn 1. 8 laps remaining of this race. Back down the field. Who have we got chasing, really? Draugen. No, not Draugen, sorry. Zebra Game on the back of Adams. Adams, no penalties, though, so that'll be a fight for P8, unless Adams can find a rhythm. As Zebra Gamer goes down the inside into turn 7, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, turn 5, sorry. I think the best action we're going to see is Nico Rosberg on Fireblaze, which has been the case almost the entire race. Fireblaze are much closer now with a full battery. They've both got full battery, so these boys know exactly what they're doing. I would imagine Fireblaze will need to be a bit clever here and not use too much battery. But will want to get past him. Fireblaze just at the apex gets in front. Wow. And they've both used a lot of battery to do that. A lot for Nico Rosberg to defend, which was futile in the end. Of course, Fireblaze will have to defend this. He does, and he will have DRS still, because it's DRS 2. Oh no, sorry, they've gone past it. Apologies. But these guys are fighting tooth and nail. Wow, what a monumental battle. A battle of the ages, this. Into the stadium section. Fireblaze taking a slightly tighter line there, which will give him the better traction out and a better traction out the last corner. Go slightly tighter to get the slipstream as he comes out. He tucked up behind. Look at the amount of battery Fireblaze is having to use just to get in front. I imagine Nico Rosberg will come back at him. This is great racing for both of these two. Absolutely monumental races. This is a battle of absolute giants. I'll tell you what, before we get to the end, I will just double check on the standings, which I think are up to date. Classified standings, here we go. So Fireblaze leading into Sector 3. Problem being, that'll give Nico Rosberg the DRS, they're down DRS 1. Now, the question is, will this be a case of who has DRS, who loses the position on the last lap into the turn 1? Because we keep seeing this swap. So Fireblaze, 95 points. Wojciech IRB Jr. on 101. So this is actually going to bring the championship a lot closer. Nico Rosberg down on 70. Chris Tam on 71. So this is actually going to equalise the championship quite a lot. All we need is Mo Amino to come back, and it's going to be an absolute dynamite of a final run to the end. It's still looking pretty good actually at the top. Even Adams isn't far away really. Unfortunately, Adams might be having to stop racing soon due to personal issues, which is a shame because he's run so well. Sitting in P6 in the championship. So Fireblaze at lap 31 into sector 3 now. Of course, Fireblaze has the 3 lap better tyres. So Dylan Vince looking absolutely splendid for that P3. Losing a bit of time to Nico Rosberg and Fireblaze, but I would say looking pretty good. Penalties. Oh no, he's not. No, he's not. He's got 6-second time penalties. Wow. Okay. So Veloci IRB Jr. is looking better for P3 now. Chris Tam could do with eking out a bit of time there because he might be able to squeeze P4. And then Gajelli, who's gonna, wow, he's 26 lap old hards. Wow, they must be close to popping. I'm sorry, come on, you can't make it to the end on them, surely. Anyway, Nico Rosberg. Before we go to the final stage, we'll double check my audio is still on. Check. Yeah, it is. So again, Fireblaze leading. Nico Rosberg chasing. Into turn 1. Nico Rosberg takes it. This could be literally, like I said, a case of who comes round the final corner in first or second, and just a circumstance of DRS. And obviously in SFR you're not allowed to brake as the leader or as the car in front to force the driver to overtake it so you then get DRS. It's got to be fair, this. You can't do it, you've got to race. There's 2 reasons for that rule. 1, it keeps everyone racing, and it also stops people causing incidents by slowing down abruptly. Again, back into sector 3. Into the stadium section. This time it's Nico Rosberg in the lead. So Fireblaze 32, Rosberg 33, Fireblaze 34, Rosberg 35. Oh, it could be Fireblaze. If what I'm saying is right, is in terms of who's in front and the time, it could be Fireblaze that comes out ahead. We've seen it swap so many times, and it just might be that if this continues swapping like it has been, that Fireblaze comes across that line just ahead of Nico Rosberg. Of course, Nico Rosberg on the slightly more worn tyre. So again, navigating the S's, worn tyres, dirty air, all to play for. I can now see Dylan Vince getting caught by his teammate, Veloci IB Jr. Yep, so Dylan Vince is currently P4. and Velocity IRB Junior in P3. With Chris Tam not far behind. But Chris Tam on 20 lap old hards. I wonder if Fireblaze is harvesting. No, he's not. He's still going for it. So this might throw it out, actually. What I said with the pattern of overchanges, it's thrown it out now because Nico Rosberg is still in the lead on this one. So it might actually be Nico Rosberg in the lead as he crosses the line. This is going to be a monumental finish. I would imagine there's going to be, I'd say about a tenth between them at the finish line. It's the penultimate lap. At the end of this lap, it will be the final lap. Who will be victorious? The Fiery Blaze or the Hindenburg-Rosenberg? Who's going to blow up? Who's going to set the track alight? Oh! Rosenberg spun. No. Oh. That's put. Oh no. I'm not sure you can count that as a commentator's curse, but Fireblaze has most certainly got this now, and that has brought a massive, massive end to that epic race we were having. Maybe those 24 lap old hards have just gone a bit too much for Rosenberg, but yeah, unfortunately, we had a spin for Rosenberg. Rosenberg blew up in the end. I'm sure he'll be kicking himself over that, but those tyres must be screaming. Excuse me. Fireblaze will be smirking from ear to ear at that. It is the final lap. Dylan Vince will be getting P4. Velocity IRB Junior will be getting P3, unless he gets a last-minute penalty, which I don't think he will do. But let's go on board with Fireblaze as he comes into the stadium section. The fireworks are cracking. The stadium's alive, and Fireblaze forcing Rosenberg into a mistake by being on his ass all race. What a win for Fireblaze, monumental, as Rosenberg comes around the corner to take a very valiant P2. Dylan Vince crossed the line P3 but will drop to P4. Velocity IB Junior takes P3. Wow, what a race. I know it's been very front end happy with the comms there, but we had to take a long, hard look at what these guys are doing at the front of Div1. The fastest of SFR, and they did not disappoint. Just one mistake from Nico Rosenberg. Didn't see a mistake from Fireblaze. We didn't see a mistake from Rosenberg until that penultimate lap when Rosenberg just span out of the final corner. Just maybe trying to get a little bit too much on the throttle to get the overtake done, so he has a double DRS, but it wasn't to be. Wow, what a race. Unbelievable. I'm not going to do I'm not going to do interviews, guys, because I think Nico Rosenberg is on PC. I'm not sure. I've got Discord attached to this PlayStation, so I won't do interviews. I would love to, but I'm not going to try it because it'll be a glitch in the matrix, try to get it all sorted. But I will run down the finishing order. Fireblaze takes the win. Fastest lap was Bruss. Adams for the driver of the day. Most overtakes was Klauser and Trauken for Cleese driver. I am, myself, as commentator, going to give the driver of the day to Fireblaze, simply because he made no mistakes and Nico Rosberg did. So I think, yeah, Fireblaze, well done. driver of the day and race winner. Congratulations, mate. So yeah, there's a Fireblaze taking the win from P2, Nico Rosberg taking P2 from P1, Russia IB Jr. up into P3 from grid 8. Wow, monumental. Ada, Dylan Vince P4, Chris Tam P5, Gurgelli in P6, Straugen in P7, Adams in P8, Gags in P9, and Zebra Gamer taking up P10 spot. Well done, guys. Absolutely monumental. I'm really sorry that we couldn't bring you Jamie, the usual commentator. We do love hearing Jamie's voice. He's such a great commentator. We miss him. Hopefully he can be back for next week. But we'll leave it there, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed all the comms this week. We've had Div 3, Div 2, Div 1. Obviously, Keith's doing Div 3 solo. Myself and Dylan Vince on Div 2 last night, and then myself tonight on Div 1 for the race. So the drivers will be getting busy doing practice for, I would say, one of the most not aggressive, but yeah, it is aggressive. It's aggressive racing tracks on the circuit. It's hell for leather, Imola. It's tight. You know, there's a lot of racing to be had at Imola. There's not a great deal of overtakes to be had unless you're on it, unless you don't make mistakes. So it's always a good race to watch. It's always a good race to do. So yeah, do join us Monday, hopefully for Keiths and Hicks doing the commentary for Div 3. Then it'll be myself and John for Div 2. And then back, hopefully, Jamie for Div 1. So I've been Edge Down, been commentating this evening. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you on Monday.